Welcome back. My name is Raz. And if you haven't checked out the last video, go check it out. It's a vlog about what my life looks like as an entrepreneur living in New York. This video is going to be kind of a part one of a series, opening up the hood and kind of pulling back the veil on all the stuff that I'm doing in my actual businesses. If you're not an entrepreneur, if you're a student, professional, you just have a big project that you're working on, all of these tips and tricks are going to be super helpful as well. So most people, if you're like me, you're using ChatGPT or you're using Claude, and you're kind of just asking it random one-off questions, or maybe you've evolved a little bit and you've built out a project. But in most cases, a lot of the information you're getting is very fragmented, and sometimes the AI is just going to hallucinate in general. And so what this does is this compiles all the information in one place and makes it so that you can reference that information at any time, and you can also optimize the LM based on new results and new data that you feed it. And what we're doing is we're utilizing all 6 of the main platforms. So we're going to use ChatGPT, which is best for structured analysis and frameworks. Claude is really good at deep reasoning, nuanced interpretation. Gemini is going to be great at kind of connecting very different data points. Deepseek has strong technical and market analysis and also tends to be really fast. Perplexity is going to give us real-time web research. And then Grok is going to give us kind of any of the social media as well as any of the unconventional insights and different kind of like contrarian perspectives. So step one, what we're going to do is we're going to go to whatever platform you're most comfortable with. I recommend Claude, but if you want to use ChatGPT, you can use that as well. I just find that Claude tends to be a little bit faster, and I also just like their interface a little bit. I find it a little bit more aesthetic. So I already have a bunch of information. I sit down with the owner and I basically pull out all of the relevant information that I'm going to need. This is kind of anything internal that won't be found online. As you can see, so I have all this information right here, but then you're going to come to this Notion doc. And this is something that I created. I'll link it below in the description. But we're going to come to this page. And what this is going to do, this is going to give us the prompt that we're going to need to build out these 6 agents. Copy and paste this, and I'm just going to come back. And I'm actually just going to take all of my business context and I'm just going to add it in right here where it says add relevant business information. Perfect. And then I'm going to take the website and I'm just going to run this right away. All right, so Claude has just finished drafting all of the different prompts for each of our different AIs. And what you can see is I've basically come through and I've created accounts. I just use my Google account and sign into all of these. And what we're going to do is we'll start off with ChatGPT. And you can see it's going to give some direction in the beginning. I'm just going to copy and paste this. And what I want to make sure here is that extended thinking is on. And then I'm going to come over here and I'm going to go to deep research. And if you don't have the paid subscription, it's totally fine. This whole process is free. I'm going to throw this in. And I'm also making sure to turn on research here. I'm also going to make sure that my web search is on and that extended thinking is also on. Make sure you have deep think turned on as well as search turned on. And we are off. So I'm just going to let this run in the background. Typically I'll go for a little bit of a walk or I'll run it overnight. And what I'm going to do when I come back is just comb through all of the reports that it's going to give me and make sure that all the information in there is accurate as far as I know. So Gemini and Deepseek are already done. So I'm just going to show you exactly how I go about getting this information in a format that works best for NotebookLM. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take all of this market intelligence report for the old lantern. I'm going to scroll all the way down to the very bottom of the page. And I'm just going to grab the stuff that's important. I'm going to right click. I'm going to go to print and I'm going to save this as a PDF with exactly what the name is. So old lantern research dash Gemini. And I'm going to save that until I have a full list of 6 PDFs that are ready to be uploaded. So once all of the AIs are done doing the research and we've saved all of the reports as a PDF, we're going to come right here to notebooklm.google. When you open it up, you're going to have a brand new untitled notebook. And we're going to come over here and we're going to go to Old Lantern Research. And you can use this, like I said, for anything. It can be for a research project, it could be for school, it could be for just a project in general, or it can be for your business. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to upload source. I'm going to go to choose file. And I already have a folder of the ChatGPT, Perplexity, Claude, all of these. And I'm going to select them all. And I'm going to go to open. And so now it's just registering all of these sources over here in the left-hand column. And what I can do is I can actually create three things off the bat. So I can do a video overview, an audio overview, or a mind map that's going to help me understand all of this information. So why don't we just go here real quick and select mind map. So now it's going to generate a mind map on the 6 sources I've given it. So it has just finished this. So I'm going to click over here and see what it's come up with. So we've got the strategic repositioning. It's got the pivot and diversification. It's got the new owner. I didn't even tell them the new owner. Pivot to year-round community hub, a revenue smoothing model. Let's jump into diversification activities. So now you can see a wedding specialized venue to a diversified year-round community hub. And if I want to jump in, I want to see where did it actually get this information. So it's pulling information that I didn't even give it. It knows that there's a new owner. And let's jump in here. So let's see. It pulled it from the Google Gemini, and it's leveraging data from 2024, new acquisition. And let's jump in down. Let's back up a little bit and let's go to strategic recommendations. And let's see, what does it think is the best thing for us to do? So let's say for marketing and sales, what does it think we should do? So aggressively target destination couples, digital presence overhaul. That's what we're doing for them. And a launch off-peak corporate retreat parties. So let's check out this. So corporate retreat package, it's actually going to create us an off-peak corporate retreat package. Wow. Okay. So you can see right here, it's identified the revenue concentration risk. So it knows what the problem the owner of the business actually has. It's identified that. Let's do this. Let's ask it to please design us a marketing strategy to target this off-peak corporate retreat package. Normally, I would give it a little bit more information. I would say, give me the channels that I want to do. But let's just start off with this and keep it really basic. Let's see what I can come up with. Off peak. And what it's doing is it's looking to target small to medium-sized businesses. So it's identified our ideal customer profile. It's out-of-state companies in the Boston and metro area. And so we got to find a decision maker. So LinkedIn marketing, it thinks that that's the great place to start. Partnerships, you can see it's really spitting out an exact strategy for what we can do to actually target this new section that we might not even have thought of ourselves. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to save this as a note right here. This is going to generate a note for the off-peak corporate retreats and kind of save it right here. And then if I download the plugin, I can just export that. I can also come over here and convert this to a source. And what that's going to do is that's going to pull that over here. And now it's going to pop up and it's going to be able to reference this going forward. So there's a lot of cool things that we can do with this. If you guys are interested in learning more about NotebookLM, I'm happy to make more videos on it in the future. So here's a quick recap of everything we learned. One of the things we did is we're using a multimodal research strategy, which is going to use custom prompts that are tailored for the strengths of each of the different AI models. And what this is going to do, this is going to give us a wide net of research, and it's going to allow us to kind of find any red flags, any discrepancies, and really kind of block out any hallucinations that any one model might have around a specific topic. We then add in all of our research into NotebookLM, which then kind of synthesizes a great summary of the business and acts as our central brain for that business, project, research, whatever it's going to be. This custom AI now knows our business inside and out. So we can ask it internal questions and questions about the external market and the industry as a whole. We can use it as an analyst. We can use it as a strategist. We can use it as a consultant, a copywriter, a media buyer, any of the tools that we want to use. We can then give this to our team as well, and they can use this as kind of a central bank of information. You can store up to 50 different sources. What we want to do is we want to make sure that we're constantly updating this and optimizing for our objective. Every week, if we're running ads, if we're doing feedback with customers, if we're doing feedback with staff, we want to make sure that we're adding in those analytics and then telling the LM to optimize for whatever our objective is. If this was helpful and you guys are going to build this out for your own business, please just let me know down below. If you want to see more videos like this or you just hated it in general, also let me know. Would love to just figure out if these kind of technical videos are helpful at all. Anyways, I'll see you in the next one.